Hello and welcome to How to Fix It. This year is a big year for Star Wars fans. It's the year that Star Wars returns to grace us on the silver screen for the first time since 2005. And that's awesome. Even though we only have a trailer right now, I am stoked as hell for The Force Awakens. But let's think about the last time this happened. Back in 1999, when I was just a toddler and hadn't discovered the magic that was Star Wars yet, the silver screens were graced with The Phantom Menace. And I know what you're thinking. Michael, you're 16 years late. Everyone's already said their piece on this. What can you possibly add to the discussion? To which I respond, it's my show, and I want to tie something in for the new Star Wars movies. Also, I really did enjoy the prequels when I first saw them as a kid. Like, legitimately enjoyed it. I didn't start to realize all the flaws until I started to search the internet and saw everybody and their grandmother bashing the movie. So this is going to be part review and talking about the regular stuff, but also seeing how well the movie holds up from when I was a kid. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but this is my show and I make the decisions around here. And this was a really long intro, so let's just get to the summary. A big plus of this film is that you don't need to have seen the original trilogy to understand it. It sets up the later films, and the only thing it does is give people who have seen the original trilogy a leg up on knowing what happens to the characters. So, let's begin. The film opens up with Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, played by Liam Neeson, and his Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor. They're going to Naboo to negotiate with the Trade Federation so that they'll stop their blockade. Negotiations break down because the Sith are controlling the Federation, so naturally they try to kill Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and invade Naboo. The Jedi escape and end up on Naboo with the bane of this franchise, Jar Jar Binks, an exiled Gungan. Why is he exiled? Because he's an utter incompetent, and before anyone asks, yes, I hate Jar Jar. He is the Frank Burns of Star Wars, but without Frank Burns' charm. They go to the Gungan city underwater, and I have to admit the visuals are pretty nice in this movie. It's a shame that the story sucks. Anyway, they try to get the Gungan leader, Boss Nass, to help them, and he refuses, but agrees to give them transportation to Theed, the city where the Queen is. They rescue the Queen and escape in her ship, but it's damaged during the escape, forcing a landing on the desert planet Tatooine. Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, R2-D2 and Astromech Droid, and the Queen's handmaiden Padme, played by Natalie Portman, go to Mos Espa to find what they need to fix the ship. That's where they meet the second most annoying character in this movie, Anakin Skywalker. And if you want to know my thoughts on this character, you can just ask my hair. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Anyway, they need money to fix the ship, so they gamble on the planetary pastime of Tatooine, pod racing. They bet Anakin's owner, Watto, yes, Anakin is a slave, that if they win, they'll get the part they need, and Anakin, since he has a high midichlorian count. Midichlorians being things that allow you to use the Force. They weren't mentioned in the original trilogy because reasons. Anyway, they can't take Anakin's mom or his unfinished droid C-3PO, and that makes him sad, but Anakin goes with them anyway. Before they leave, Qui-Gon has a fight with Darth Maul, who has a neat double-bladed lightsaber. Qui-Gon wins, and they go to the Jedi Council where they say Anakin is too old to train, but Qui-Gon says screw that and decides to train him anyway. Padme also gets Palpatine elected to the Senate, but there's absolutely no way that'll come back and bite her in the ass, right? They go back to Naboo, and Padme reveals that she was the Queen, and gets the Gungans to join forces with the Naboo people. They have a fight with the Federation forces, and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fight Darth Maul, and they win, at the cost of Qui-Gon's life. The film ends with a remake of the final scene from A New Hope, and Obi-Wan promises to train Anakin. Like I said, the movie looks great visually. I mean, seriously, it looks really good. And Ewan McGregor is great as young Obi-Wan. I totally believe that he'll age into Alec Guinness one day. Natalie Portman is great as Padme too. In fact, most of the actors, save for a certain two, are really good and give it their all, but that's about all I can defend. The story isn't great, and they shoehorn in stupid concepts. Midichlorians, sorry about that. And Jar Jar and Anakin are insufferable. I don't blame Jake Lloyd. It's not his fault. He's a kid. I don't blame him. On the same note, I don't blame Ahmed Best for Jar Jar. I blame the writing. They could have been written better, but they weren't. And it's completely pointless to the rest of the Star Wars saga. You could potentially skip over this entire movie and lose nothing. Yeah, Qui-Gon was cool, but his presence has no effect on the saga as a whole. Toss a few lines in the opening crawl about everyone's origins in Attack of the Clones, and bang, this entire movie becomes pointless. In order to fix this, I wouldn't make the movie. I would start with Attack of the Clones and have dialogue that explains Anakin's origins and how he became a Jedi. Do away with the midichlorians and just have Anakin be Obi-Wan's Padawan from the get-go. Entire franchise stays exactly the same. There's absolutely no reason for the Phantom Menace to exist aside from setting up stupid aspects of the prequel trilogy. So just start with Episode 2 and make better movies from there. In fact, do Attack of the Clones first, then do the Clone Wars, and then Revenge of the Sith, and the prequel trilogy would be way better. And that was The Phantom Menace. Is it a good movie? No, but it's not the worst movie ever made. Is it a good Star Wars movie? God, no. It's pointless and terribly written. It serves no purpose, and it shouldn't exist. Does it hold up from when I was a kid? Not really. The flashy effects were enough to sate me as a kid, but this movie does not hold up when looking at it critically. Do I still love Star Wars? Of course. But this is by far my least favorite of the Star Wars movies. And if you want to know my ranking from favorite to least favorite, it's Episode 6, Episode 4, Episode 5, Episode 3, Episode 2, Episode 1. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more of how to fix it, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you'd like, you can also leave a comment in the box below. And if you like this video, share it to your friends and share it around. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Her name was Leia. She was a princess with a Danish on each ear and Darth Vader drawing near. So R2-D2 found Ben Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
He'd have to put the Death Star plans into the rebellion's hands. So Luke and Obi-Wan had to get to Alderaan. So they stopped into Mos Eisley to have a drink with